Alright gang, welcome back to our Nutty Brewer series here in Normandy. It is October. We've got another wheat field to harvest today, and I actually figured out what the problem was with the brewery, as we kind of looked in the last episode, really, and I probably should have known to begin with that there was something wrong when all it showed was pig food, but I was like, well, maybe it just doesn't show it there because I do know Giants kind of has a little bit of an issue when we start talking about brewery and things like that because it changes the RB rating, I think, on the game, right? So bear with me here as I drive awkwardly up the side of this hill. So I thought maybe they just kind of removed it for that sake, but it'll just populate out, right? But no, it was a conflict with a mod. I found it to be a conflict with the additional fill types mod. I have that installed. I don't know why I really need it installed for this series, but I had it installed. I think I just had everything installed for this series, or clicked on for this series, I guess. But yeah, it was ended up being that. I turned that off, and no problem. Now the beer is spawning. So we probably lost a little bit of beer in the process, but you know, it's a learning curve, right? We'll be all right. We'll be all right. So anyway, if you are having an issue with this mod and not getting beer to spawn, maybe check your different fill types. It seems like it's a fill type conflict with the code that is causing it that issue. So, but anyway. It has finished processing through all of the wheat that we did have, and as you can see now, if you look on the right hand here, you can see that there actually says 1,000 sparkling light, and if I go back up, 1,000 dark malt beverage, right? So it literally was just that conflict, and as soon as that conflict was removed from the actual save file, no problem at all, and we're back up and running and operational. So, beginning, we lost a little bit of money in that process, but it's okay. It's all right. Not a big deal at all in my eyes. Not a big deal. So how's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Things are good, man. Things are good. Now, what I am going to say about these two fields down here. Well, it was one field. We split it into two. What I am going to say about this is, as one of these fields is going to be re-drilled right now with winter wheat. The other one will not. The other one, this one specifically, we are going to be holding on to this one and waiting until it's the normal time to put in wheat or barley. Hopeful that we can do barley by then. Not sure if we'll be able to or not, but I'm hopeful. So we'll see how things go. But that's at least the plan right now, is to hold on to it and not do winter. So that way we have at least one field that is not in the winter period of time. As we talked about in the last episode, you can clearly see it right here on the crop calendar. The winter wheat, if we put it in right now, we're not going to be ready to harvest the winter wheat until August, which is pretty much the whole year, right? So I'm going to wait and do the wheat in March. That way we have another wheat really to do, right? And then we'll have that wheat will kind of be on that period of time. Uh-oh, we're kind of stuck. Uh-oh. Don't kill any crop. All right, we got out. But that way we have at least one field that is on an alternate schedule and should hopefully continue to produce more for us. And hopefully by then we'll have another field as well, right? If we have another field, that can certainly help us as we move forward. Making sure we have multiple alternate fields that are ready to harvest, ready to drill, all that stuff at different periods of time, which gives us a little bit more to do, right? Now, the fact that we have some beer incoming here, we've got to start, figuring out a way that we're going to distribute this beer, right? We don't have much yet, but we need to figure out a way to start distributing this and taking it out and selling it to local bars and things like that, right? So we can start making some money, getting our name back out there, right? So, really, in my eyes, the next purchase that we need to make, more so than anything else, we need to buy some kind of a small truck, van, whatever you want to call it, where we can actually load up some of the stock of beer that we have and then go and, try to sell it in some of the bars, right? Start off locally, obviously, and then we will continue to expand and grow from there. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get to a point where we need to have semis coming to pick up the amount of beer that we're coming to sell, right? Hopefully, that's the goal. But that is obviously a much further along end goal than it is right now. Really, right now, we need to find some kind of a van of some sort. Used market, anything out there for us? Not really. There is a a trailer, which we maybe could potentially sell ours and go downgrade to that. I think it's a little bit smaller than the one we have. I'm not sure we need the large one that we currently have, so that might be an option for us to gain a little bit more on the funds. Everything else, really no. Would love that semi-trailer, obviously, for obvious reasons, but I don't really think it's in the budget right now. I don't really think it makes a whole lot of sense right now. One, we don't have a cab. We don't have a semi-cab or a lorry cab or however you want to word it. Two, we don't really have enough product, right, in my opinion, right now that we even need to be doing that. So, yeah. Would be nice to have, but it's just not really the right time for us to go and spend the money on something like that. And, well, second of all, we don't have $21,000 even in the bank account at current. We do have $10,000, but we do not have $21,000. Now, when we get turned around here, one thing I do want to look at that we haven't looked at yet is, what are we actually going to get price-wise for this light beer, right? What are we actually going to end up getting? I don't know. Or malt beverage, whatever they call it, light malt beverage. I don't know what it's actually going to be under. Sparkling malt light, there it is. Okay, so it really doesn't fluctuate all that much. It's about a $70 fluctuation here, hit or miss there. All right. What's the worst time to do it right now? Of course it is. But that's okay. We can wait till November when it hopefully spikes back up. But at the same time, it probably is just now kind of registering the prices. So it's probably going to start to change as we move through the rest of the year. So it's probably not going to be like that the whole entire year, I guess is what I'm trying to get at, right? It's going to be more something like that or whatever. If we find one that's a little bit more reasonable on a decline and incline, if you will. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. We are stuck in something. Oh, boy. I don't really know how to get this out of here. There we go. There we go. Whew. That was a struggle there for me. These trees, I think they're going to have to go, some of these trees, even though I really like the trees, kind of being over the road and everything. That or we're going to have to shrink the size of these fields down a little bit more so it's not as severe. If I ever utilize a worker or the neighbor that I've talked about who's been coming around and helping us, intern type of guy, if I don't, we're going to always have issues, right? We're always going to have issues. They're always not going to be able to harvest this the full amount that we're looking for, so... Okay, why are we going that way? What are we doing here? Oh, little tile. Okay, I see. All right, well, I'm just gonna do. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I'm gonna do my own without utilizing the GPS here one more time, and then we'll utilize the GPS for the remainder of it. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well, staying safe, all that good stuff. Things are good. Like I said, they are as good as they can be given everything that's going on. Real quick, if you haven't done so, check out my other channel. Check out the Discord, all that stuff. Everything's down below. Check out the shop. Everything, all the links for that is all down below. I can state from the shop-wise, at least, I am still offering 10% off. If you use the link that's in my post section, there is a 10% off link. So if you see something that interests you in there, make sure you use that 10% off. It'll save you a few bucks. All right, we're just going to let it do its thing here. I'm going to follow it along and see what happens here. It's like big curves, basically, we're dealing with here at the end. It's a little weird, but whatever. We'll let it do its thing, I guess. So, all of this wheat, like I said, it's directly going to go into our malt beverage factory here. And we'll be making the sparkling light for the foreseeable future. The hope is, by the time March comes around, and we can actually sell some of this light beer, hopefully. We can then turn around and hopefully start to produce the dark amber, whatever you want to call it, the dark malt beverage premium, which Speaking of that, what is the price of that? We didn't look that up. What's the price of the dark premium? Or maybe it's just dark malt light, maybe, or dark malt. I don't know. I don't even know what it would be under. Dark malt beverage premium. It's pretty much the same. It's a few dollars more, but it's not like anything crazy. But hopefully by then we'll have enough money where we can actually start to buy some sugar, right? Outsource some sugar so we can actually start creating that. Like, that would be pretty exciting. I'm personally, I'm a fan of more of an amber, darker type of beer versus the light beer. I like the flavor of that. So I kind of really want to make that pretty soon, really. We're getting around 90, 92, 94, 96%. You know, it's kind of spiking back and forth here. So not a terrible harvest here. Definitely could be better, I think. And we're going to continue to make sure that that happens, right? We're going to continue to do the liming and everything else that we have to do. We're going to continue to try to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can here to get the fields in such good of a shape that we are getting the highest yield we can possibly get, right? Now, the camera angles are still a little awkward and a little weird here on this series. I apologize. Just the hills are pretty, severe. And so the camera has to constantly be moving. I have to constantly move the camera just to put it into really a state that it's easy to watch versus, keeping it in one angle and then all of a sudden you're looking at it like this. I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking at it like that, I guess, but you don't really get to see the whole landscape and everything, right? So a little harder to see, of course, too, right? So, but anyway. So, there is a new competitive multiplayer series that we are working on. This one, as I kind of mentioned towards the end, at least a couple of times, of the competitive one-tile challenge, I wanted to pass the torch along to one of the other guys to come up with one. This one is being crafted by the mind of Chris, too, so we will see how this goes. I'm not going to give any major spoilers away, but we are adding another individual into the mix. There will be 4 of us, which will be kind of exciting. Probably looking at somewhere in early to mid-October start time for that one. Chris has found out when his other knee surgery is. He had one knee surgery which was successful, which is great. Hoping the best for his second one as well. And so he's basing it off the fact of when that is going to be done. He probably feels like he'll be confident he can start doing those at that period of time. So early October, mid-October at the latest, we'll be getting that up and running. Ideally, I'd like this series to be done right before that competitive series starts. That's my kind of goal for this series, is to have it done by then. I think it won't really be a big deal. I think we'll easily be able to do it. We've got 2.5 months as of the time of this recording, at least. We have 2.5 months to accomplish that. I said from the beginning, we're looking at somewhere around the range of 30 episodes for this, maybe less, maybe more. It's not going to be perfect, but it should, kind of line up there almost perfectly with that, especially if we do a couple episodes of this on Saturday, right? Like I said, the Saturday is kind of a toss-up day for me as far as the schedule goes moving forward. It's just going to be a random. It's either going to be this series, it'll be the Island Preservation series, or it'll be the Triple Threat Challenge series. It just depends on where my mood is, or maybe whatever I have recorded. I guess it could be that too, right? Depends on the situation. So okay, this field is nearly done. Now, what I'm going to do with this field before we move on to the next one is I'm going to unload this, and we're going to take it directly over to the brewery so we can get it up and running again. It did run out, like I said, out of wheat overnight between September and October, of course. So we want to get it back up and running. We want some more light beverages in there, really, so we can go and sell it. Now, are we going to sell the light beverage today? I don't know. Probably not. Although I would like to. I'm probably going to wait till next month. Maybe it'll be a mistake. Maybe next month will be less money. But I think I'm going to wait till next month for a couple of reasons. One, it'll give us something that we can do. We can go and sell those. Now, I can tell you, bit annoying, but that's the reason why we have this, right? The malt light, or any of the beer for that matter, they're not liftable. It's not compatible with the liftable bale and pallet mod. So I have to use an actual forklift to pick them up. Good thing we do have one fitted, so that's a good thing, right? But yeah, so we're if we run into any issues with trying to stack them up on a trailer or anything like that, well, we're going to be dealing with the repercussions of how long it takes to resolve that, right? We've done that many times before in the past. And we're going to have to kind of continue that here. So they are also, I can kind of show them to you really quick while we're unloading here after I do a quick save here. Let me just jump over here again. So if we walk over here, they are kind of lifted up on this little platform here, right? Now, I can pick up the pig food, which is great, but I cannot pick these up, right? I don't get that hand gesture like I just did for the pig food, right? So, to pick these up, I mean, we've got to lift them up. The actual forks have to be up off the ground, so, I've run into issues with that before, where things get stuck underneath, all kinds of issues, right? So, but anyway, we'll see. Also, maybe if we can get some pigs up and running next month, too. I'm not sure if we'll be able to or not, but maybe a small pig, pig pen of some sort, just a really small one, just to start. I think that would be nice. It'd be helpful, right? Because we can utilize some of that byproduct that they have, and the manure, the slurry, that type of stuff, right? We can utilize that on some of our fields, right? Which would be helpful. A little less that we have to spend. All right, let's go take this up to the brewery. We'll get that back up and running here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it back on. Now, I mentioned the first field I would ideally like to buy, which, I've talked about a lot of things, right? But the first field I'd like to buy is field 79 or 80 up here, just because they are close by. They're not outrageously expensive, 53,000 and 77,000, right? I mean, they're expensive, but it's not outrageous, right? So I think those are the ones I'd like to buy first, just so we can kind of continue to expand our operation here, get more wheat and stuff incoming. Eventually, probably want to get something where we can either bale or forage wagon up the straw as well. Right now, we're just kind of, we're just chopping it. We're not dropping straw. I'd like to probably really get that going, too, just because that can be a little bit of extra money, and we can take that straw and put it in as bedding for the pigs as well, right? So, lots of things, really, that we want to try to accomplish here, but we need some more money to get a lot of those accomplished, and that's not something we have a whole lot of right now is money, right? So, all right, let's just drop that right there. And we'll get back underway here. So, you know what we got to do. Let's get this field done. Once we're done with this field, honestly, I'm not even going to worry about doing anything to this field today, since we know we're going to be holding on to this field, for the next season, the growing season, where we can actually put wheat in it and not winter wheat, right? So I'm not going to do anything to this field. We can do that, like I said, in the next episode, when we're going to be selling more than likely some of the beer and kind of just preparing this field. So we'll kind of get this field harvested, and then we'll prepare, or we'll focus, I guess I should say, on this field here, getting it all plowed up, getting the line back down, getting it reseeded with winter wheat, and we'll kind of go from there, right? So lots to do. Let's get it done. And we're going to run right into a tree right off the bat here. What tree am I running into? All right. Well, evidently, that branch is going to be causing me an issue. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right. Well, we're going to have to try to come back and fix that later. Maybe I just buy a chainsaw and just chop that tree down, but might cause more issues if I do that. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to kind of move on here and see what happens, right? good progress here. We're almost done with this field. I actually kind of cleaned up a little bit of the edge down there on this field where we kind of went over a little bit with the grass that we put down, right? The paint of the grass that we put down. I was having a hell of a time on this field straight ahead of us with the GPS. For whatever reason, it would not line up with the GPS properly. It kept saying too far away from segment. Not quite sure why. I guess I could have turned the lines on in hindsight, but I just figured, you know what? We'll just do it the old school way. We'll just do it the old-fashioned way. And so I just didn't even utilize it. But, yeah, it was weird, right? Weird. Also ran into another issue over there with the tree, with one of the... Well, actually, there's two of the trees on that side that were causing issues. But we were able to get it harvested in the end. But yeah, I couldn't just go straight with it. I had to kind of go around it and then go at it from a different angle to get the wheat out of there. So some of these trees with the branches, they're causing us a little bit of issues. But that's all right. That's all right. So this field just needs to put some lime down on it, and then we can re-drill it, which is what we're going to end up doing today. Actually, there's a little bit down here I forgot at the entrance I need to get. All right, we'll go put this away. I'm going to get the lime down, and then I'm actually going to put a worker on, I think, doing the drilling there for at least for a little bit. The neighbor came by, said he would be willing to help us a little bit, so I figured, well, why not? We'll give him a little bit of something to do. Got to put away the header, too, so we'll do that here in a little bit. But let's get the spreader, which is over there on the case. We'll hook up this one for the neighbor to go on and take care of putting in winter wheat in that field after we get the lime down, of course. There's not a whole lot of lime in here, but I think this should be enough. I don't really expect the field to need that much lime since we did lime them already. We have some more lime up there by the brewery. If you remember, I kind of left the trailer up there. I need to bring it back here. Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, the case is even struggling here with this hill. It's struggling. Might not really be able to utilize the case a whole lot much more because and we're wasting a lot of lime here. Although it is precision farming, really, so it shouldn't be spending all that much if we're not, you know, putting it down there. It shouldn't be adding a whole lot extra on there. But as you can see there, we're only adding a very, very small amount of pH, right? We're not really adding a whole lot of lime here. It's pretty much, the field itself is pretty much in a state where it's not really a big concern. In other words, you know, if I didn't put any lime down here at all, we'd probably still get a very similar yield, right? But I want to try to keep this field, all of our fields for that matter, as in tip-top highest shape as humanly possible here. So we are going to put lime on it because of that reason. We are struggling. Holy cow, we're struggling here. It does not like these severe hills, this case, unfortunately. It looks like we might be down to mostly a one-tractor type of farm here for a little while. Just considering this is having so many issues. Now, I could, I guess, just not turn it on and drive all the way up to the top of the hill. And then just drive down, because going down it has no issues at all, right? But it's not really that efficient. Okay, we're pretty much done with the lime on this field. There's just this little tiny spot right here we're going to take care of. Which, again, there's not going to be much probably to put down there either. And we're done. Perfect. So we'll go put this away. I'll run into the house there and tell the neighbor that he can get started here on getting this field drilled for us. All right, got the worker up and running there. Neighbor out there doing the drilling there for us, which is great. We're going to jump into the minute two here because we haven't really utilized this yet. And the reason why we're going to utilize this is we're going to kind of move some of this stuff out of the way here. We're going to see how difficult and how easy or how difficult this might be. We don't have any pigs right now. So the other thing I'd kind of like to look at here is as far as what the price would be if we were to sell the pig food outright. I really don't know what to expect here. We got to scroll for a minute. Potato chips. There's nowhere to sell pig food, evidently. I thought there would be somewhere to sell pig food. Well, I don't know what to do with the pig food then. I guess I'm going to find some kind of a sell point for the pig food then. Because there's nothing in there. I'm not blind, right? I'm not missing anything, right? I see potato chips, planks. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Unless it's up here, which I don't think it would be. No, it's not. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure something out then, because right now we don't have any real use for the pig food. So I think for now I'm just going to kind of stack it up over here on the side. Hopefully try to keep it out of the way. Because while the brewery is operational, we really don't have, people coming to visit the brewery yet, right? That's going to be happening soon, but it's not really at that point yet. I'd like to have both operational. In other words, I mean the light beer and the dark amber type of beer. All right, let's see. I mean, this hasn't been too terrible to use, honestly. Multi-light. I can't even read that bottom word. What is that? Petulant? Cereal beverage. I just want to see how easy it's going to be for me to stack them on top of each other here. Looks like it's relatively simple, honestly. It's not going to have a whole lot of issues here for me to stack them up. I'd like to get another one on top here. Do we have enough to even spawn another one? Oh yeah, we got plenty of in there. We got 8,705 liters of sparkling malt light. However, that's the other thing I was concerned about. There might be pig food that might spawn here. I'm going to use the hand here for a minute and just pick that up. Just to allow some more to spawn here. Hopefully, the beverages. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Oh, that is exciting right there, right? That is exciting. I did not stack those very well, but that's exciting, man. That is super exciting. All right, where are we going to put all this stuff? Because obviously it only holds so much. It holds 50,000 liters, which is a lot. I'm just going to stack it right in front, actually, for now. Because I don't really know where to put it right now. We don't really, we need to get something. I mean, I guess I can. I guess what we can do is remove everything off of our trailer. And then we can just use the tractor and drive this up to, local breweries and things like that to see if we can find, a potential place that will buy some of our beer. I guess we can go that approach, right? But we're not quite there yet. I think that is going to be a future tense item, right? So I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to park this back over here. And we'll jump into the case again. We'll get the trailer. We'll bring the trailer down here. And we can start unloading that trailer and just get it prepped. Because obviously $10,000 is not going to be enough for us to buy, a van more than likely. Unless we get lucky and something pops up in the used market for us. And the shop will let us know about that, of course. I told them we're looking for one. But the odds are it's not going to happen, right? And so since we know the odds are that it's not going to happen, we really should probably try to figure out some other ways to get around it temporarily, of course. And I think that is the way to go about it temporarily, right? I think it is. I think the way to go about it is to utilize our tractor and trailer. It's not the most ideal thing in the world, for sure. It's going to be a slower process, and obviously we're taking up lots of space where we could just utilize some kind of a little van to really, you know, accomplish the same type of goal, right? It's taking him a long time to actually drill that field. Taking longer than I expected him to drill that field, but that's all right. Let me get all of these off here, and then I think I'll probably bring this up there, and we'll kind of just stage it for November, because I'm not going to sell any of the malt beverage today, but we can at least, you know, stage some stuff up there and get that prepped. So let me get all this stuff off here. Okay, that's all done. I'm just going to get, like I said, get this kind of staged up over here in preparation to go ahead and you know, put as much beer as we can on here, and hopeful that we'll be able to sell it in the next episode. So we'll put that there. We'll drive the case back down here. I'm going to go ahead and put the header back in its location because it's kind of in the way a little bit, right? And the neighbor should be getting pretty close to being done with that field here soon, too. Missing a lot of bits here and there, but hopefully they'll touch all that up, and we can go around and touch up the edges if we need to, of course. All right, we're going to back this up here, gang. I'm going to let, like I said, the neighbor continue to do the thing there of getting the drilling done of that wheat field, that winter wheat field. And we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you smash the like and subscribe button in case you've yet to do so. They are free to do, and it helps me out an absolute ton. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Sometimes it takes me a couple days to do so, but I am happy to get back to you on those. And thanks to each and every single one of my members for all of their continued support. It really does mean a ton to me. If you want early access to videos like this one, there is a link down below where you can consider becoming a member, supporting me and the channel. Check out the second channel, check out the Discord, check out the shop. Everything, as always, it's down below for you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your support, as always. And we'll see you next time. Why are you going so slow? Hurry up.